On TV, online and on your mobile, top stories at 3 o'clock for you. Teacher and student murdered by a sword attacker in Sweden. 2 others said to be hovering between life and death. The clues that went unnoticed, allowing a paedophile doctor to abuse young cancer patients. Burnt out, Vauxhall drivers concerned as a number of cars spontaneously catch fire. 13-year-old girl arrested on suspicion of murder after a man is stabbed to death. Theresa May takes on the police over the number of black officers in forces across England and Wales. The name's Bond, James Bond. But is this James Bond at its best? Hillary Clinton is about to testify in front of a congressional committee about the attack on a US consulate in Libya in 2012 that killed the US ambassador and 3 other Americans. And this is the room that she will be heading to very shortly indeed. Just taking the opportunity to take photographs of her as she takes a seat. She'll have to make herself comfortable. She's going to be there for many, many hours is what we're being told. It's mostly a Republican-controlled committee. It's expected to last, as I said, for many hours. An aide to Mrs. Clinton's campaign said she was expected to say in her opening remarks that the 2012 attacks, which left 4 American deaths, were a tragedy that the United States must learn from, but that America could not withdraw its diplomats from dangerous parts of the world. Quick listen.
Just a couple of quick administrative matters before we start, Madam Secretary. There are predetermined breaks, but I want to make it absolutely clear we can take a break for any reason or for no reason.
Okay, we don't need to take the housekeeping, do we? Let me tell you a little bit more about what the aide said, that the United States must learn from the mistakes, but that America could not withdraw its diplomats from dangerous parts of the world. The aide also said that Mrs. Clinton would say that, like the Ambassador Chris Stevens, who was among those killed, she believed that for diplomats to be successful, they must work at times in unstable regions where the United States may not have a military presence. I think it's fair to say that the emails that were not on a secure server, some of those did relate to Benghazi, and that has been damaging. That email scandal has been damaging for Hillary Clinton. Republicans making the most of that, and given that this is a Republican-controlled committee, it does appear that she may well get another hard time today. Let's see.
And Tyrone Woods served this country with courage and with honor. And they were killed under circumstances that most of us could never imagine. Terrorists pour through the front gate of an American facility, attacking people and property with machine guns, mortars, and fire. It is important that we remember how these 4 men died. It is equally important that we remember how these 4 men lived and why. They were more than 4 images on a television screen. They were husbands and fathers and sons and brothers and family and friends. They were Americans who believed in service and sacrifice. Many people speak wistfully of a better world, but do little about it. These 4 went out and actually tried to make it better, and it cost them their lives. So we know what they gave us. What do we owe them? Justice for those that killed them. We owe their families our everlasting gratitude, respect. We owe them and each other the truth. The truth about why we were in Libya. The truth about what we were doing in Libya. The truth about the escalating violence in Libya before we were attacked and these 4 men were killed. The truth about requests for additional security. The truth about requests for additional personnel. The truth about requests for additional equipment. The truth about where and why our military was positioned as it was on the anniversary of 9/11. The truth about what was happening and being discussed in Washington while our people were under attack. The truth about what led to the attacks and the truth about what our government told the American people after the attacks. Why were there so many requests for more security personnel and equipment, and why were those requests denied in Washington? Why did the State Department, compound and facility, not even come close to meeting proper security specifications? What policies were we pursuing in Libya that required a physical presence in spite of the escalating violence? Who in Washington was aware of the escalating violence? What precautions, if any, were taken on the anniversary of 9/11? What happened in Washington after the first attack, and what was our response to that attack? What did the military do or not do? What did our leaders in Washington do or not do, and when? Why was the American public given such divergent accounts of what caused these attacks? And why is it so hard to get information from the very government these four men represented, served, and sacrificed for? Even after an accountability review board and a half-dozen congressional investigations, these and other questions still lingered. And these questions lingered because previous investigations were not thorough. These questions lingered because those